And this is Alice. I'm here for a happy at home chat today. So, welcome. I am excited to be here. I am really excited because these happy at home chats have been such a good way to connect with people, to connect with other scrapbookers, especially during this time when we're all at home and we want to be a little bit happier here. So thank you so much for joining me for this session today. My name is Alice Boll and I run the ScrapHappy membership at scraphappy.org. And I would love it if you would check us out sometime, and hopefully that will be a good thing. I have some people coming in the room. I'm really excited that you're making it over here. Hi again, says Kathy. My computer died. One of the things that I am waiting on for right now in the mail, and I keep wondering every day if the mail has arrived, is my new battery for my computer because it is running straight off the power. So hopefully we don't have that problem again. Got my fingers crossed just in case. Today's session, I wanted to talk about pages that solve problems. And I don't know how to really explain it, but sometimes you have a picture that is a really special picture, so you want to do something really special with that page. Sometimes you have a picture that has a perspective issue, and you want to be able to make a page that really demonstrates that feeling of perspective. And sometimes it's a color issue. Sometimes it's action, and you're trying to convey the action. Maybe you have too many photos that are so close but not quite the same, and you want to do something with all of them. We can use our layouts and we can design layouts that help to solve problems. So thank you so much for popping over to join me here. We just had a slight malfunction, but I'm so glad that you're here and that you're making it back in. So thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. So let's talk about the problems. So there's all kinds of problems that we can solve, and something as simple as a page that I have showed you here before, but I have this page and it is my kids eating Pop Rocks. And Pop Rocks are an experience. It is something that's like, how do you convey the action, the excitement, the fun of Pop Rocks? And so I had created this page that helped me convey the fun and the action, the feeling of Pop Rocks. And so I think that that was a really fun thing. I'm going to set up my split screen here because it's literally a click away. So let's do that right here. And yay. Yeah, thank you so much. Oliver, you're coming back in. Thanks for coming back. I know. That new battery will be here before I know it, and it'll be wonderful. So here we go. This was my Pop Rocks page. Super fun way to capture the action that is happening in your mouth when you eat Pop Rocks, right? And those are the kind of problem-solving pages that I kind of wanted to talk about today. Another way that I created a fun element is by using little springs on this page, which you can see if I hold my page up like that, right? You can see the little spring that gives this page that extra little bit of pop to go with the Pop Rocks. And I think that's really fun. We also saw this page where, I went to the Chichi place. The glass there is amazing. It's a creative artwork that is so fun. I have never had Pop Rocks, says Joyce. Is it candy? Yes. It's candy that explodes in your mouth. So it kind of crackles. So think of like Rice Krispies, but like jacked up and like to the extreme. So that's what Pop Rocks are. They are candy that literally, and it crackles in your mouth so you hear it, and it is totally an experience. So trying to capture that on a page, like I think we need some creative options sometimes. So here when I went to the Chichi place, like the glass is so beautiful, and I can take okay pictures, and I did get some lovely, beautiful photos, but trying to capture the amazement of it. Yeah, Sheila says, they are, but I don't like them. My husband did as a kid. Oh, I know, they've been around for a long time. Um, and they're definitely something that's like yay or nay kind of thing. Like I like to have them every once in a while because I think it's just it's kind of hilarious that they can make candy do that. Think nuclear candy. Yeah. That's funny, Jill. Yeah. So to capture the fun of the glass and the texture and like the cool shapes and everything, I created these using alcohol inks on shrink plastic, and then I kind of cut them into some wonky shapes and shrunk them down. And it reminded me of the artwork that I saw there. It was fun. It was playful. It is not a very flat page. It is quite thick. These things stick out quite a ways off the page, but I think it was a really fun way to solve the problem of how do you capture like that feeling of lightness and brightness and the amazement of the colors. Like when you go into the galleries, most of the galleries are really dark. Everything is black, and then you have these pieces that are lit up, and so they look absolutely amazing, and you can actually get some great photos of it. But how do you capture that lightness and brightness on your own scrapbook? So Kathy says that's one of my favorite pages of yours. And Joy says, I love that page. Thank you. I think it's just fun. I had a super fun time playing with shrink plastic. I hadn't done it for quite some time. And I just think that was a really good problem solver. So we're kind of looking at problems that we can have and trying to capture the amazing trying to do these photos justice when they have like the most incredible colors, but they've achieved that look by lighting the page, right? Now, I will say there are options for even that nowadays, right? You can get like these little packs of lights. I see people do them in cards and other projects where you can actually light up a project. So you could do something like that in your book, which is super fun. But those, like I think that by getting a little playful, we can come up with creative problems or creative solutions. Now, problems don't have to be super complex. I've showed you this page. I think when you're talking about babies, you're talking about softness, you're talking about like all the things because they're little delicate creatures, right? And so to solve that problem on this page, I've used lots of things that have really tactile, soft textures. And I think that that's a really good way to solve that problem of how do you bring the sweet, cuddly softness of a baby onto your layout, right? And so I've done all the things, like even these letters. I wish they were flocked letters because that would be even better, but they're like foamy letters, right? So they still have that feeling of softness to them, like almost like a baby's skin, actually. So bringing all those elements together kind of solves that, like, oh my gosh, this baby is so delicate and precious and like so soft. Yeah, the mood and feel. And I know we talked a lot about some of these things when we talked about creating mood on your page. So if you missed our mood discussion, let me see if I can look really quick to see what day it was. Like they're all labeled. All of these happy at home sessions are labeled, but we did specifically talk about mood on one of the days. It was not that one. We've done a lot of things. This is exciting. April the 16th, we talked about mood and we covered all kinds of things for creating a mood on a layout. These ones here, I'm looking at it kind of from a slightly different angle. I'll show you some layouts that we've seen before, but some will go and I'll show you a few things that I've been saving for this, for creating problem solvers. And, we talked about this one here too, because I used like those little honeycomb effect, right? To bring that the mood, the feel, some texture. So we've kind of seen a few of these things, but it was just a way to keep everything focused right here to that adorable little baby face. That's my niece. She's much bigger now. It's kind of sad. But anyways, those aren't the only kind of things. I'll be so sad when this stops. Well, we're not going to completely cut you off. That's what I've decided, that we just can't completely go cold turkey. That would be sad. So what I'm thinking of doing is maybe we will try for 2 days a week in May, and then we'll see after May. So it's not every day, but we will do something. So I haven't sorted out which days are going to be best for my schedule, but I'm going to try to keep it probably in this time spot because that time seems to work really good for me. It's just a good time so I can have a good morning, get things sorted out, and still get some things accomplished and arrive here on time when my computer is helpful with that. Okay, so problems that we solved, right? Like we've seen this page. This one solved the problem of how do you add that element of fun? I've got this fun picture. My kid is doing a flip on the page. I've added a spinner to the page to put my journaling on a spinner so that you can kind of get that whole feeling of flipping. And I thought that was just a super fun thing. It's so easy, guys, too. Like, this is a brad. Like, it's poked through the page protector, and yes, I laminated the journaling so it could sit on the outside of the protector and still be protected. Oh my goodness, you just gave me hope. Yeah, so we're gonna do 2 days a week going into May because I can't call this cold turkey and just quit. I just love it too much. So, yeah, and it's just fun way to bring this journaling to it, right? What a fun little thing. So I thought that was really good. But sometimes we're solving issues that are in our photos, like within our photos. So possibly it's a perspective thing. Possibly it's something else. So with this, I'm just going to show you an example of a page. And I think I could have done such a better job on this page. It's good. It's fine. It's okay. But I love the playfulness of this picture. There's this kids at play sign, and we mimicked it with ourselves, right? We're on a holiday. We're in the tourist zone. Why is this page not looking like a caution sign, right? Like, why is this not looking like a caution sign? This could have been even better. So that there's nothing wrong with this page. It's super good. I've got little arrows and signs. Like, I've tried to capture it, but I think I could have gone even better. My family won't leave me alone. I feel like I have to hide when I'm watching you live. That's super funny. Let's see. Ryan's little danger one. I gotta grab it. So what I should have done on that page is what I did on this page. Or something of the sort. Because I look at this and that to me captures that whole feeling of the sign that I should have captured with that other one. Like, yeah, that picture was fine. We did okay. Like, the picture itself is stealing the show. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think the page could have spoke even more to this. Do you get inspiration from looking back at your layouts? I know I do. Absolutely. Absolutely. I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I did that. It's so good. And I think that sometimes it's really, like you get surprised at how creative you can be sometimes, right? And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to you. So with this page, when I created this sign, like, is it the most beautiful page ever? No. It's totally not, but it is so fun for what it accomplishes. And I love making pages like this. So here is my son. He is sitting there totally naked. You can't see anything because he's like, we got the angles going on. It's fine. But he's got a steak knife and he's cutting this cardboard. But he's got his safety glasses on, right? Like, it's everything about it cracks me up about this picture. And he's sitting there cutting this cardboard box with the steak knife, but he's got his safety glasses, so it's all adorable. It's all fine, right? Oh, that is adorable. Yeah, and I think what a great way to kind of solve that problem of having a picture like this, because that picture wouldn't mean what it means without the page kind of bringing it, because it's just a picture of a kid sitting there. There's a bit of junk on the floor. Like, it doesn't look like anything until you really bring that page and show it off, right? I think that that's the kind of problem solving that I'm going to be showing you today is how you can make your page kind of solve that that issue. Okay, so I can't think of another one I want to show you in here, so we'll see. Maybe I'll keep it handy. Maybe I'll keep it handy. Family jewels not protected. I know, right? Like, we totally could have gone in that direction. Like, my husband was very liberal with his allowing the use of steak knives with kids and boxes and stuff when they were young. And I'm like, oh, I had heart attacks. And he's like, well, you got to get him to do the stuff and learn. Like, he gave my son a hatchet when he was like, I don't know, 4 or something like that, 5 maybe. And he got to like chop down little trees with his little hatchet. And I'm like, you can't give him an axe. And he says, it's better for him to learn how this works when he's 4 or 5 than to be figuring this out when he's like an adult and can really hurt himself. I'm like, oh my gosh. Chrissy says, better to get inspired when you look at an old page than when you shake your head and wonder what in the world you're thinking. Well, I do both, right? Like, I totally do both. It's like the gems. You have to focus on the gems. You find those hidden gems where you're like, oh, that was a good one. OSHA only requires safety glasses, right? Yeah. Yeah. So sometimes it's a matter of wanting your story to come through. And so this next page, I'm actually telling a story about my husband and how he's kind of like a superhero. And I couldn't help it. I had to go there, like fully embrace it with the little zip, right? So I've got some superhero papers hiding in the back. I've called it Super Jonas. The title could be better. That background is not a great platform to host some titles. I can tell you I learn stuff all the time. My son is 11 and I still butter his bread. I'm a dork. Give that kid a steak knife. He needs a steak knife. I know. But I love like how like this element with the folded paper with the zipper, it really gives you that superhero, like that hidden personality kind of thing within the page. And maybe that's not the exact moment of his superhero stuff, but I talk about some of the things, how he's my superhero. He can fly an airplane. He's a super dad. He's a super uncle and loves to wrestle with his nieces and nephews. He's super smart at puzzles like the Rubik's Cube and is super at drawing. He's also a fantastic partner at Pictionary. He's super at his job and at video games too. Best of all, he always makes me feel super loved, and that's why he's my superhero. And so, you know, partly the journaling helped to step up the whole super thing, but it was good. April said, I always told Ethan that God gave you daddy to be sure that you have fun. He gave you mama to make sure you don't get dead having fun with daddy. That's exactly right? Yep. So many times I'm like, you can't do that. And he's like, he's doing it. It's fine. The number of times I've almost had a heart attack because my son was climbing up in trees. Oh, I tell you, like I watched him nearly fall, like the tree broke and like, oh yeah, drama. And it was all like encouraged by dad. But I come across all these pictures. I was actually, I've hauled out my older laptop. I don't think it will run this software. So I'm like, I wish I could just use that. But, I, oh my gosh, that's fabulous. It's super fabulous. Yeah, like I hauled out my old laptop and there was a few photos still sitting on the desktop on this old laptop. So I looked at them with my son like right before this. I was worried I wasn't going to be ready on time because we were spending so long looking at these pictures, but I just couldn't tear myself away. I'm like, I will come, it will be good. And then the computer died, so it wasn't. But yeah, I really love the fact that like looking at these pictures and seeing these things, if you don't have an album that you can look through or a scrapbook that you can look through that is all of your craziest antics of your family ever, whether it's things that you're dressed up in or things that they're doing or crazy places that you've gone and done, if you don't have an album that you can look at like that just show the crazy side of your family or your life or the things that you've done, that is like number one priority. Because I tell you, it's genius. Looking back through the pictures, and I had brought them together for a class that I had actually taken down at Camp Cropin down in Calgary when that was a thing. And it was a class called My Family is Nuts. And We're All Nuts or something like that. I think it was from Bo Bunny. So shout out to Bo Bunny. Thank you so much for the brilliant idea. Our We're All Nuts album was a brilliant idea. And I kept all those photos together. I wish I knew where it's probably in my drawer, but I wish I knew where the little mini book was because I used all these crazy photos of our family to put into this little mini book about our family being nuts. Best project ever. If you don't have one like that, even like put them all together on like a little album on your phone so that you can just flip through it and it's like a highlight reel of the craziness of your family. Best thing ever. April says that zipper makes the page so clever, super clever. And like, a zipper is like what, like $2 if you get it at the dollar store. Like they're not a big expensive thing. A little bit of red line tape is all that I did here. I picked paper that was like superhero on one side and just plain kind of on the other to go with it. And I just put it on the outside. And no, it doesn't actually zip. It doesn't. It's taped down. It's fine. It doesn't need to be like that. Jill says, I like the idea of theme albums, but I can't get past the need to keep my layouts chronological. Mini album. For that kind of thing, it's mini album. It's all about a mini album. It's like this tiny little thing, so you barely have to embellish the pages just so you can be like, oh my God, it's the highlight reel of your life, right? Like, literally. We're all mad here. That's an Alice in Wonderland quote. Oh, yes. My family is nuts. I thought everyone's family were. Totally. And yeah, I've got pictures of my son hanging off of a tree branch held only by his jacket. Like his jacket is hanging like on the branch and he's like literally dangling there like a little, I don't know, like just the crazy pictures that you see. Those are so fun. And when you need a pick-me-up, let me tell you, looking through those highlights is perfect. And what a better use for like a mini album or a tiny project, right? Like than having something small like that. It's totally portable. You hand it over to somebody. It's not like, here, look at my giant album. It's going to take you a month. Like, sit down. You're my captive audience now, right? You hand that over and be like, ha, these are so funny, right? Because people don't look at your albums that often that truly appreciate it. So this tiny little thing is a great way to share like some highlights with them too. Sharon says it can be photos that are already in your chronological album. Literally, photo of that, print that, stick that in your new book. So just take your layout that's already done or photos that are already in there. It can be that easy. April says everyone's family is nuts. If anyone says otherwise, they're lying or deluding themselves. So yeah, solving problems in design, right? To help you make the most out of your story. So sometimes the problem that you have is more of a problem with pictures that have like a perspective issue. And so there's lots of ways you can tackle a perspective issue. But here, let's see if I can actually put this somewhere so you can see it. Okay, so here is this page. This is in India. I went with my cousin, my uncle and aunt were there. So we went to visit them and we went to this place. And this rock is balanced on the edge of this cliff. And it is like so unthinkable that it's sitting there. And of course, people go and you pretend to hold up the rock, or you pretend that you're holding the rock, or you pretend that you're pushing it off the hill, all of the things. And to capture the amount of energy and excitement in these kind of photos, you have to do something fun and funky, right? And it can be simple. So these other pages I've showed you, they're kind of like big. But sometimes it's something simple that just makes it like this extra fun. Like my word defying is like falling off the cliff. Like I've created this little cliff on the page with my word. And I think like it's a small, subtle little thing, but to me that's totally a problem solver because it brings that element of what's going on in the photos into the page. Like, and I could have created a better, like, I think I have a thing in the background here. Like if you look at the blue and I've kind of shaded along the edge there, I've created the hill, but then I've covered it. So you don't really get the effect of it, but it is just, you know, having this little thing. I love how the title is falling. Exactly. I missed something. So Chrissy said, sometime when something crazy happens to someone in our family, you can't get any help because everyone is laughing and has to take a photo before they'll even help you. Sheila says, I used to ask my husband if he knew growing up that his family was weird. And he's like, what's weird? Yeah, so it's so true, right? Like it's kind of like what you're used to. You know, solving a problem. Here I am telling a story, and it's about music, and it's about a CD being played on repeat one day for 5 hours and the next day for 8. Like I literally listened to the CD. It's not in English. It was an Indian, like it was like in India. It was hilarious. So yeah, like we're seeing all kinds of things as we're driving along. So I tried to pick a picture that was like, whoa, that's like unusual. But I wanted to tell the story about this CD and listening to it. I so wish that my cousin and I had bought it off our driver. Yeah, India. The rock is in India. I probably... It has a name, Krishna's Butterball. So if you look that up, Krishna's Butterball, like Krishna, Butterball. This pictures of this rock, and like there's tons of them on the thing. Just go to like when you search it on Google, then click the images, you'll see all this. But that's my version. So yeah, so I'm talking about the music. The CD was repeating. So look what I did in my background. CD, 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 CD. Like, and it's like ridiculous, right? Like it's just a silly little thing. But because I was talking about a CD that repeated over and over, it kind of makes the background, right? Like it's just something really small, really subtle, but it helps to solve that problem. And I've got like little elements kind of talking about music, the whole seriously, like, did we have to listen to the same one? And we got to actually know the songs. My cousin and I were trying to like singing along with the songs as they came back. Like, yeah. Yeah. So it says it's a good thing we had a good sense of humor because it could have drove us crazy. Yeah. And another problem solver. But I had another one here that I was gonna do. Yeah. Not really. Oh yeah, this one here. So this is the story of us crashing a wedding. It was the first night we arrived. I was trying to ask our driver, like, what's happening over there? I could hear noise and music and stuff like that. And when he's like, he just takes us, he walks us right into this person's wedding. And like I didn't realize until we were right in there that that's what we were doing, is we were crashing a wedding. And yes, there's a movie about that, but ours was unintentional. But yeah, so he took us right in, saw the wedding, and then they noticed us, and all of a sudden the video cameras were shining at us and the lights were in the face, and I'm like, we have to get out of here, we're crashing a wedding. My aunt's like, what? So it was kind of hilarious, kind of funny. It was super beautiful. I took enough, like, I managed to take pictures of the happy couple on stage and some of the setups. These are all carved out of melons and stuff. But then as we left, our driver grabbed one of their little goodie bags. It's like their welcome, thanks for coming to our wedding goodie bag. Thank you for your presents and blessings. So I ended up with this goodie bag from the wedding, and like it had like kind of like the little mint thing that you eat and stuff like that. Have you ever watched a Bollywood movie? The music goes on and on. My husband crashed a wedding while in India too. Must be a thing. Oh, that's hilarious. We were in Chennai. But we were all over the place. We were in Chennai, then we went up to north to Assam, and then from Assam we went to Delhi, and then from Delhi we went back to Chennai and drove down to Pondicherry. So we were all over the place, and it was amazing. But yeah, so how do you scrapbook the bag? I could take a picture of it, and that would be kind of all. But instead I actually cut the bag in half so that it wasn't so thick, and I took just the front face of it and I taped it in here. And so I kept the little handle on it because I thought, well, then it looks more bag-like. And technically you could slide something in between the paper and the bag because I left that part unattached. Yeah, I know. I got like totally the swag bag. It didn't have like a bunch of super expensive things other than the bag maybe itself. Like, I was like, just super funny. So I know exactly, all about it. Yes, but just including something like that, like the bag that I had from the wedding, I think was a really fun way to solve the problem of the thing, because, some stuff we can't include because it's like a 3D object and we take pictures of it and we do our very best with that. Oh, that's not it. I thought that was the layout. No, it's not. I showed you guys recently, like the one of my jewelry box and how I solved that problem with my jewelry box, right? Just taking the picture. Oh, I see it now. It's on the other side. Let's see. My cousin's son got married in Korea last December. Oh my gosh. It was a multi-day event. She had at least 4 wedding gowns. Oh, amazing. I would so love to go to a wedding like that. And Sheila says he was going to dinner with a coworker and he was like, I need to stop somewhere first. Next thing he knew, my husband was at a wedding. I know. I was like, we're at this hotel. I can hear this noise. What's happening there? I wanted the information. I didn't need to go and like crash a wedding, but kind of happy that we did. Like, it was quite the event. Okay, so this one is a problem-solving page as well. Let's see if I can get this color to correct a little bit. Come on, camera. Come on, focus, focus, focus. Oh, torture. So when I started coaching, talking about, I didn't know what I was getting into, how much I'd love it. And then I made this page and it doesn't look like much. It doesn't look like it's really solving a lot of problems, except I had all these newspaper clippings from my time as a coach. And my son's swimming as well. So I created this pocket. So the page is actually kind of thick because I've put foam tape in it, and I've used some fairly sturdy cardstock to design the page. It could be thicker actually for as much as I've put inside of it. April says I only saw it on Facebook, but I was totally into her pictures. So yeah, we've got all of these newspaper clippings that I've saved of either my son being featured or myself being quoted. Coaches looking forward to the new season. That's literally from my first season as a swim coach. But I just color copied all of the clippings because the newspaper was really starting to fall apart. It doesn't last very well, right? And so I color copied it, and I thought that's probably as good as it's going to get. It gave me a chance to, if they were kind of really big, I could shrink them down so they would fit. I could put a couple of them onto a page, but it really let me bring all of the pieces together so that I have them in one spot. Oh, some more. And yeah, some more uneven multi-page ones all together, the results from my team. So I just think that this was a really fun way to kind of be able to deal with all of these little pieces that, you know, what do you do? Like, I'm not going to make a page about every single newspaper clipping, and I can't save the newspaper clippings forever because they just fall apart. Like, they just don't last. But by allowing myself to create this pocket page, I could make a page and I can bring all of those elements together inside there. And I've just got like a little notch there. Kathy says, if you have old newspaper clippings that you want to keep, there is a product called Archival Mist, and it preserves it and prevents it from disintegrating. I had some a million years ago, but I haven't had any for a long time, and I just haven't, I haven't had any for a long time, and I haven't seen it anywhere. So this was a way for me to tackle it. Plus, it makes them all quite sturdy, right? And if we don't have the original copies of a million newspaper things of my son, we'll probably be okay. So I wanted to kind of wrap up kind of our session today with, this color is just driving me crazy. Okay, I think we got it a little better. I'd like to wrap up with a little bit of some Disney pages that I have created over the years, because I have had some pretty creative ones in trying to solve some of the action and some of the stuff. So that's a great solution that would work well for all those travel brochures you pick up. Yeah, creating the pocket in the back, and the page is thicker than a normal page, but it's not so thick that it's like, I can still slip that page in a page protector. Let's just say that, like, it still fits in a page protector. Jill says, I wish I would have photocopied my son's baseball album. I used the actual articles. Big mistake. Yeah, and nowadays, like, the color copies, like I had a laser color copy printer, like, no, I might have printed those ones on my other one, but like the printing that we can do now is really quite good. And like, if I really wanted to, I could have saved all of those pieces, and I could have sprayed them with Archival Mist and saved them in a package somewhere with some other memorabilia. But this was a way to bring everything really conveniently together. Sharon says, I love the idea. Says, I still have all my kids' artwork and clippings. I just love this. So April says, if it saves you from having to use that front page space for brochures, but you can still include them. Yes, absolutely. So let's see. Fun creative ideas. I wanted to create an idea that we were going on Splash Mountain. So across my 2-page spread here, I have a mountain that I created on my page. I think it's just a fun thing to do. Let's get some focus. Come on. Oh, it's not loving my page protector. There we almost go. Okay, so we've got my mountain in the background here. And I think it was just a fun way to kind of add that. And I had the picture of the vultures, so I've kind of cut that out and kind of built that into my designs. This one I thought was quite genius. We went and took pictures at each of the letters for the California Adventure Park. I don't even know if they're there anymore. Somebody can let us know. I heard that they weren't anymore, but maybe that was wrong. But yeah, we took pictures with each of the letters, and then I put this all together, and it's just, the pictures are just trimmed down to kind of make them fit, and I was really lucky to get them all to kind of fit in the space that I wanted them to. So that was kind of just a fun way to kind of make that massive title page almost for that area, but still use the embellish the stuff that was there from the pictures. Let's see, another one. Oh, see, there's stuff that's blank that was supposed to have stuff written on it. It happens. I thought this one was really cute. Like, we're writing the Bug's Life thing, and I've added like these little paper piecing little embellishments and stuff, like the flower pot and stuff, to kind of go with the fun pictures. Oh yeah, I used to do lots of double page ones. I love that with the pictures. Oh yeah, each of the letters for the California. I thought that was so fun. They did get rid of the letters. Yeah, I thought I'd heard that. And I was like, oh. Space Mountain, just black paper with it. And I just took a little white gel pen and I like dabbed it and drew a couple little stars. But I thought that was like, it's a super easy way to make it look a little spacey. Oh, that's hilarious. All my letters have fallen off of this page. It says Jones, Indiana Jones, so looks like I need some more adhesive. And I was not using glue dots, obviously, then. Oh, yes, the choo-choo page. We were riding the choo-choo train, and it's like you actually go through this giant watermelon piece. So I made a giant watermelon for on the page. Infinity and Beyond. And this was like the final one that I wanted to show you. This one here is my son sitting outside the little orange swing. I don't know what it was called. Feel free to let me know. It was like one of the ones with the seats and the whole orange kind of apparatus spins around inside. In West Edmonton Mall, they call it the swing of the century. But anyways, he was too small. He wasn't allowed to go on the ride. And he'd just gone on the roller coaster, which had the same height requirement. But yeah, the curse of thickers. I know. Back when I used to trust that they actually had... Back when I used to trust that he's the one a thicker. Don't do that anymore. They got rid of those letters. I miss... Yeah, I didn't see them when I was there. Yeah, those big giant California letters, they were so fun. But anyways, and you can see like too small, and I've done like this purposefully small. I've kept my journaling quite contained. And what do I have right down the side? A measuring tape kind of thing. And that's all I needed, right? So sometimes the solutions can be quite simple and elegant. The kind of really small kind of little problem solving things that really help us to get there. Yeah, and I don't think anything else that was kind of hiding in here. Oh, there, I guess there's this one here. A little 2-page kind of thing. I was having lots of fun with paper piecing at the time, as you can tell. But that is it. So I'd love to hear, have you made some pages where you've solved like a really good problem? Maybe it's a perspective issue and you had like the perfect, oh, I do have a fun perspective one. It should be in this book, in my son's. This will be the good wrap-up one for talking about perspective. Here we go. Let's see. So here is a perspective one. So I have created myself a bowling alley because I have horrible pictures of us in the bowling alley. This is me. I'm actually in labor at this point, waiting for my younger son to arrive. And, terrible pictures. But, this whole creating the perspective of the bowling alley, I think it creates the page, solves the problem of the horrible photos, and kind of helps me tell that story that, literally I went from the bowling alley to the hospital to have my kid. We were killing time. So, yeah. So April says, in the Star Wars store before... That's almost tongue twister there. Before they open the land, they have a shirt where Yoda is too short to ride. Cracks me up every time. I know, it's so fun. I was like, oh, I love this. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Great solutions. One of the things I enjoy about looking at my albums is seeing what style I was into. Or when you get a new tool. That's another fun thing that you can really see when you get a new tool. I have one page in my older son's book, and I counted there is 18 ovals on that page. 18! All because he was doing this cute little thing, and I didn't want to get rid of any of the pictures. Why don't I just use them all? So I had my awesome oval cutting thing, so I cut them all into ovals. Kathy says, and how the style has evolved over the years, and it totally has. But even though I made those Disney pages quite some time ago, I look at those pages, and because I've used those really fun problem solvers, or I've really helped created things that helped me embellish that story really well, I think that those kind of pages, while the products have changed and while I would maybe approach them differently, they kind of really hold up over time. Great title. Marcia says, to solve the problem of seeing letter stickers on a busy background, I've used vellum or even white washi behind the letters. Or you can put gesso or paint behind it. That is a really good solution. And I think that I am so much more aware of that now than when I first started. When I would stick these letters over an area, and it's you can't read that. You can't see that. That is just not working. And 18 ovals. I'm not even kidding. April says, I love the Creative Memories oval tool. You could get so many more photos on a page using the oval cutter. That was the one. That was the one, April. So, yeah, I think that it's super fun. So thank you so much for being here. If you want to give me that thumbs up before we go out, I would really love that. Marcia, that's a super good tip. That's what's being said right now, because, you just can't stick your letters over something if it's not going to allow you to read them, right? And I think choosing the layers in pattern paper, I'm so much better now at making sure the right ones are in the right place so that I have the areas where I can journal, where I can put my title, and everything kind of gets its little moment to shine. Okay. This has just been such a delight. We are back tomorrow for the 29th. So much fun. Thank you for joining me today. If you'd like to connect on Instagram, I am at Alice Boll. No, don't go. I love it. But don't worry, I'll be back tomorrow. If you have heard about my chicken stuff and you're like, Alice, what are you doing with that chicken stuff? We're kind of diving head deep into a new chicken project. And if you'd like to check that out, you can find me on Instagram at Chicken Livestream, because we will be live streaming our chickens. That's totally going to be a thing, and it's going to be hilarious. So I'm really, my son is working on all the tech stuff, my techie son. So check out my chicken live stream. It's on Instagram. It'll be on YouTube. I've opened up a Facebook page. You're welcome to come and follow me there. Just in case you ever are curious about the world of chickens. Yes, April says your eyes need a place to rest sometimes, so you can add that resting place where you need it with all the things. Yeah, having the right layers, having the right papers in the right places, all of those give you that little resting spot, a little bit of white space. That doesn't have to be white. Thank you, Alice. Have a great evening, everyone. Thank you. And tomorrow, like I said, I will be back. There's a digi kit called Hey There Chick. I probably need that. Bubbleman's chicken stream. Oh, I know, Bubbleman. Oh my gosh. His videos are blowing up again. It's so crazy. So much fun. Thank you so much for joining me. This has just been an absolute blast. Like I said, I'm back tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday. So that's the 29th and 30th. And then I will be announcing what the dates are going to be going into May, but we're going to be meeting 2 days a week so that we still have a little bit of that. So the mouse died. Well, thumbs up on the replay. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thumbs up. Okay, if you're not on my email list, please get on my email list because I'll be announcing the opening of Load. I just have to go talk to my tech guy and see where we're sitting. So all good. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.